Hey, and welcome to Nick's 10 Minutes of. And today we're going to dive in and go a little bit to make it easier to understand fats. So first, a couple of myths. To lose weight, cut all the fat out. This is wrong and it's actually quite dangerous. The body needs fat to function and also be able to absorb some vital vitamins and minerals. So we actually need fat to survive. All fat is bad for you. No, it's not. There's different kinds of fats. Some are very good for you, which is really healthy for you, something like omega-3, and then you have the other one, which is a trans fats. We come to there now. So let's move into the next step. Fat is part of the three macronutrients that our body actually needs, which consist of fat, protein, and carbs. Fat actually helps to absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. They are fat soluble. That means they can only be absorbed with the help of fat. So if you just eat those with no fat, the body cannot get it. There's four different kind of fats. Number one, saturated fats. You got trans fats. You got monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. And they all play a role. And there's one of them that we're definitely not going to do. And we're going to get to that pretty soon. First, a couple of number and facts. That our daily food intake should consist of between 20 to 35% of fat. And 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So that's more than double from protein and carbs, which have 4 calories per gram. On a 2,000 calorie diet, this is the norm that we go for, you should have between 44 to 77 grams per day, depending on how your life is a little bit. Okay, let's go to the bad boy, trans fats. Trans fats is a highly processed fat, and it's a man-made and it's only made for good shelf life and because it's very stability, and it's comes in a solid form. Trans fats are actually found in more than 40% in all the stuff you find in supermarkets. And all trans fats are man-made, and they're actually really bad for you. A diet full of trans fats increases the risk for heart disease, and it's the leader killer of adults. It's the trans fats. This is how bad. This is basically in all of your fast junk food, snacks, and the highly processed food that you buy in the shops. Basically anything that comes out of a package that you can open and eat it straight away, most likely have trans fats. The more trans fats, the greater the risk for blood vessel disease and also for weight, because the body cannot use this at all. It's not made for us. So, according to the World Health Organizations, 540, that's 500,000 people die every year because of the trans fat that we eat. So this is serious. High trans fats intake can increase the risk of death from any cause by 34 because it's so bad for you. And also up to heart disease is up to 20 to 30% as well. Here's the thing though. Trans fat has no health benefits. They haven't found any yet. So they are just bad for us, and they are only there for the industries to put in because it's cheap and good. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is more of a natural things. And that's saturated fat against unsaturated fat. Like you can see, saturated fat is a lot in like meat and dairy products, and this is more from the plant life. So I will start with saturated fat. Saturated fat are found in animal-based foods like beef, pork, chicken, other birds, dairy, like cheese, tropical oils like coconut oil and palm. And also there is some trans fats actually in egg, or in saturated fat in egg as well. But egg is very special, so we're going to get into that. I'm going to have a special slide on that later on. Saturated fats are typically solid in room temperature. And you should try to keep your daily max of your fat intake from saturated to about one third. So, for example, that means maybe you don't have to eat meat every meal because you're going to get so much saturated fat. Also, a lot of saturated fat goes into like burgers and stuff like that as well, with the trans fats, which makes it quite well. So we should try to have maximum 20 grams of our sort of daily intake out of the 77. 20 is sort of max, as we can do max. So yeah, maybe you start cutting out a little bit of all that sausages and meat and all this and cheese and all this, and cut it down a little bit because it's good for your health. Because it's just what it is. Okay, so let's go to the unsaturated fats. This is what I took both of those unsaturated. These are liquid in form, in room temperature. And they have a lot of sort of beneficial fats because they can improve, make the good cholesterol, which we actually need. They ease inflammation, stabilize heart rhythms. And they also have omega-3. They have a lot of things that is actually good for us with the vitamins and stuff as well. Unsaturated fats are mainly found in foods from plants and fish, like salmon and other fish, seeds and nuts, olives and oil, and avocado. And with the fish, it's the fat fish we're looking for because they have more omega-3 and they have a lot of health benefits as well. But they do not so bad for you. Okay, so let's go for the next one, which is the egg. Egg actually got a really bad name because they say they have cholesterol, they have high fat. Yes, but they actually only have the good cholesterol. What happens is that the cholesterol fat in egg actually get your bad cholesterols down. And also, if you look at it, it's exactly the way you should eat. 2/3 is unsaturated and 1/3 is saturated. So it's pretty cool. It's actually a perfect package. And it's packed with protein. They also have zinc, which helps with the immune system. There's calcium, so it helps your bones to stay strong. They have like the selenium, which is a antioxidant. They have the vitamins B6, D, E, and K. So you're eating that. Remember what we say, A, D, and E, which is for A, D, and E, they need fat to be actually go into the body. So you already have the fat to bring it into the body. Also get B5, B12, and B2. So don't worry about eggs. Eggs are super healthy for you. Okay. This is a very short way of me to explain a little bit about fats. Let's go for my final thoughts. So, if you want to be healthy and only change one thing, avoid trans fats as much as possible. These are what happened. That's why we have an obesity of 650 million people in the world today. That's obesity. And I think it's 1.6 million people or 2 million people are actually overweight. And the main reason is the trans fats and the processed food. We haven't changed much how much calories we burn. We haven't changed much like this. The big culprit, I would say, is the trans fats. Okay, so that means cut down big time on processed food. So avoid deep fried, fast food, snacks, factory made cakes, cookies, ice cream, and all of that you buy from a package. So a good rule, if you want to stay healthy, is to, if it comes out of a box or a package and is ready to eat, chances are there will be trans fats in there. But not only that, there will be a lot of sodium and sugar because this is how they do to sell it. They want you to be addicted to all this. So how do you stay away from trans fats then? The best way to stay healthy is eat as much as you can cook or have prepared from natural ingredients. And what do I mean with that? If you take a potato, it's a natural. If you take tomato, it's natural. If you take some beef, it's natural. So this is the way you stay healthy. And that's all for me now. All right.